Receiving a ton of hype and fame as a hooper in high school can be a huge blessing in many ways. You get exposure as many D1 programs are aware of your name, you get a lot of fans, the media is ready to post you whenever you do anything even a little exciting on the court, you get your juice up, and I'm sure it's just a great experience. However, it's not all bright lights and sunshine, because on the flip side, when you get to the next level, which is college, you only have a little bit of time to prove yet again why you had so much hype when coming up. And I say you only have a little bit of time because for the most part, fans are not very patient or loyal to players until they make the pros. If you make the pros, then you're straight. For example, Lonzo hasn't really lived up to his expectations as an NBA player. However, try and slander him in front of a Lonzo fan and you better be prepared to have a hopeless argument for hours on end. But slander LiAngelo, and most people will not even care at all because he quite literally peaked in high school as he barely even played in college. So yeah, y'all get the point. And in the upcoming 2021 draft, there are players who started out slowly in their college career, either because it took some time for their games to develop, or because they weren't even allowed to play, but are now balling and proving their hype. And in this video, I'm just gonna highlight 5 of these cases and praise these players. But before I go any further, what's good YouTube? Plug Speaks back with a vid. If you are new, first of all, welcome to the channel and go ahead and subscribe. If you are happy for these guys, then like this up and turn on notice. I upload 3 to 4 times a week, and right now we are on the grind to 5K by March, so I'd for sure appreciate it, y'all. But back to the vid though. So for example number 1, we've got Sharif Cooper, and I already know what you may be thinking. How could he have a comeback? It's not even like he was playing bad. He literally could not play due to eligibility issues. And although all of that is true, I still had to put him on the list because he's emerging as a beast after there was some doubt, because prior to his play, many mock drafts left him off their list simply because there would have been too many questions that could not be answered if he had not been cleared. So yeah, Sharife missed Auburn's first 11 games of the season, and he wasn't even able to practice with the squad at first. And this was all due to an investigation by the NCAA about his so-called suspicious recruitment to Auburn. And they definitely took their time, but yeah, Sharife was finally freed, and ever since he got cleared, he's been showing out. Through 4 games, he's averaging about 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists on 40% shooting from the field, and Auburn has gone 2-2. And his shooting for sure needs some improvement, like so much so that I might have a video soon dedicated to this one flaw, but for the most part, he's been hooping. He's showing that he has a rare passing ability and court vision, along with the fact that he knows how to put up points without relying completely on perimeter shots. It's just been a nice comeback. And if he declares for the draft, I have little doubt he gets picked up in the first round, whether it be mid first round or late first round. I know he will be picked up. But on to this next example, I got UNC's 5-star point guard Caleb Love. And it actually brings me some joy to put him on this list because he was playing so poorly to start off the year that I even dropped the What Happened video on the man. However, in his past 2 games, he's played way better. And I know 2 games is a very small sample size, but listen, he's playing better and his efficiency has especially been like night and day. So I have to put him on this list. But yeah, prior to his last 2 games, this man was averaging about 9 points on less than 30% shooting from the field and under 20% shooting from deep. And his shot selection was terrible as well. However, in his last 2 games, he's averaged nearly 16 points and 3 rebounds on 50% shooting from the field and 55% shooting from deep, as UNC has gone 1-1 in those 2 very close games. And I really hope I don't jinx this man, but yeah, he's been playing well. And of course he could still improve, his turnovers are still an issue, but like I said, he started the season so poorly that I had to show love and highlight his good performances as well. It's only right. But on to this next player, I got Jelly Fam legend and Javon Qualls. And even if you don't keep up with high school basketball, you have seen or heard of this guy simply through Jelly highlights on social media. But yeah, Javon graduated in the class of 2018 as a 5-star recruit, and he had so much hype around him going into college. However, things changed for the worse very quickly because the school he chose was Villanova, and it had a coach that refused to play him for any significant amount of time at all. I mean, literally. He played just 25 games and started in none of them, and he averaged just 9 minutes a game for the season. So of course his hype died down heavily, and many people either forgot about him or just added him to the list of players who were high school legends and flopped at the D1 level. However, Javon Qualls did not care about this, and he decided to put his fate in his own hands by transferring to Alabama, where he knew he would get playing time. But he then faced yet another setback, because after transferring, he needed the NCAA to approve his waiver so he could play in the 2019-2020 season, but it was denied and he had to sit out the whole season. So this current NCAA season is finally when he could show us everything, show us something. And he really has, because through 12 games he's averaged 13 points, 3 assists and 2 rebounds on 48% shooting from the field and 38% shooting from deep. Just showing that he can play at the D1 level, and that all the hype was not just meaningless hype. And I will say it is hard to see him getting drafted if he declares, because at 6'1" he is undersized for a point guard and does not bring anything crazy to the table. However, it has been nice to see him turn things around. But on to this next player, another high school legend in Mcclung. And Mcclung is so known that I probably don't need to say much as far as his background, but if you don't know, this man was an athletic sensation in high school. He has several viral mixtapes, and although he didn't come out of high school ranked that highly, he still had a ton of hype. But for 2 years, all this hype looked like just that, just a bunch of hype. Because his first 2 years were at Georgetown, and in both seasons, the school's record was nothing impressive, and neither were Mac's numbers. They were pretty bland. However, after transferring to Texas Tech and having his waiver approved by the NCAA, he has been playing the best basketball of his D1 career. So far, Texas Tech has an 11-4 record, and Mac has averaged about 16 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds on 43% shooting from the field and 33% shooting from deep. And although his numbers are by no means mind-blowing, all you have to do is watch him play to really see the improvement. He looks more confident on the floor. He uses his athletic ability with crafty finishes around the rim rather than trying to dunk on everyone, and he really just looks better out there on the court. Not too long ago, he hit a whole game-winning 3 from deep over a really solid Texas team, and the 3 was contested and all that. Good defense, just better offense. And Mac may not be very tall, he's only 6'2", but unlike Javon, I feel as though he has good chances at getting picked up in the second round, because besides his numbers, the guy is just box office. I mean, he has all the hype and he just knows how to get a nice highlight from time to time. But yeah, on to the final example. I got UConn's best guard in James Bouknight. And I put him last on this list because chances are you haven't heard of him, as he is underhyped. And I'm kind of being selfish because I don't really want many people to hop on his bandwagon just yet, because I may have a video planned on him for the future, but for now, I'll briefly cover his comeback story. So yeah, James Bouknight is a 6'5" guard that graduated in the class of 2019, ranked 69th overall in the nation. And his first year at UConn was pretty messy, because besides the whole COVID situation last year, James was involved in a car accident that the authorities suspected was the result of driving under the influence, but it was never confirmed. However, he fled the scene after police asked for identification, which resulted in him being charged for driving without a license and running away from a police officer. And as a result, he was suspended from 3 games in his freshman year. And I know 3 games is not a lot, or at least does not sound like a lot, but you have to really think about it. The whole situation had to have thrown off his flow in the season, because his second year numbers are showing that he's way better than what he produced as a freshman. And then on top of that, we should all know the NBA can just blackball players based on politics, and his charges did not help his already low chances of getting drafted, so he just stayed a year. And now his draft stock has shot up tremendously, as some mock drafts have him getting taken as a top 10 pick. By the way, in his 6 games this year, he is averaging 20 points and 5 rebounds on 45% shooting from the field and 35% shooting from 3. So he's been balling and is just having a great comeback. And I could go on, but that's all I got on him for now, and that's actually gonna wrap up this video. But I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to like this up, share it, sub if new, all of that. Let me know in the comments what you think about these comeback players and some guys I might even have left off, or if y'all would want a part 2. But that's it from me, and I'm out.